Welcome to book club. This is what it's all about. It really is. Okay. Uh, is it recording?
Yeah. So there's two mics.
Oh, is that a mic?
Yeah. It's
Hey.
it's the one we use for the.
Something broke. Oh God. Okay. That's enough. Oh. So, we're gonna get started with book club. So the that we're gonna be going over is gonna be the last chapter. Sadly, it's gonna be the last two. Set the example and conclusion, which is it's all on you, but not about you. So, yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Let me just open it up real quick into my magical thingy. Do I have to hold the mic this close or?
Nah, if it's
You
like
need to hold it so proper, Kellen.
if it's like around here, that's fine.
Around here is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna be going over set the example first. These chapters are super short, so they're gonna come at you real quick. But the discussion questions is what's gonna make it interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
No, I read
one.
it last
Hi.
Hi. Alrighty. So we're just gonna go ahead and read, I guess, the first maybe four or five. I would say, Alan, could you read from here all the way to same? Okay.
No. My pimple side. Don't look at my pimple.
I had to get that. It was like, oh, this is my pimple side.
All right, set the example. Set the example. If you are in a leadership position, the team is watching you. Your people are watching your attitude, they're watching your behavior, and they don't miss a thing. If you are late for a meeting, they notice it. If you roll your eyes, they notice it. If you yawn, they're watching and are thinking you are tired or bored or both. The team members are watching everything, and on top of that, they will imitate what they see. If you are late, they will be late too. If you dress like a slob, they will dress that same way. If you break the rules, they will also break the rules. So if you have to behave correctly at all times, you have to be the ideal. They will also consciously or unconsciously mimic your emotions. If you stay calm, so will they. If you panic, they will panic as well. If you have a negative attitude, their attitudes will also turn negative. However, if you have a positive attitude, so will they. If you treat people with respect, remain humble, and act professionally, then your team, for the most part, will do the same.
Perfect. So basically, when I first read this, it talks about kind of how it's basically, he's talking about like the cause and effect, basically, right? If you give out something, that's what you'll return. So that's what he's basically saying about the emotions. So, especially if you're a leader, if you're, of course, we're all human beings, right? We get stressed and we have our very high moments, our low moments, but, sometimes it's hard to really control them, especially if you're really down. And then when you're saying something to someone, sometimes your emotions can get mixed in. Like if you said to me like, "Oh, hey, Kellen, if I asked you to do something, if I'm mad about something that happened at home, I'd be like, "Oh, Jojo, can you just do the thing like now?" Like, you know what I mean? The attitude, and then you'll take it as, "Oh, you know,
Yeah.
he's very upset." So, kind of going off of that, can this is like the first question. Can you explain a time where a leader's emotion or attitude affected a team positively or negatively? So it could be either one. Again, the question is, can you explain a time where a leader's emotions or attitude affected a team positively or negatively? So it doesn't have to be negative; it can be positive too. Because that also, if someone is leading and they have a bright attitude about whatever, especially when things are really bad, it's kind of reassuring to have someone that's like like, hey, it's okay, you guys. Let's just move forward with it, and so yeah.
Oh, two mics. Two mics. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
it's louder.
Not that I need to be any louder. One example that I can think of, or a person per se, is Justin.
Yeah.
He's really like, I admire him, and I look up to him.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what trials he's going through in his personal life, or even with the gym,
Yeah.
he is so good at keeping his composure. I'm like, bruh, I try my best, but I'm emotional.
Oh, same. Yeah,
I'm emotional. I'm the person that's like, I just need to be dramatic, and then I'm okay with everything.
I remember that conversation. I think I forgot when it was. I don't know if it was a team huddle or something, but you said like, yeah, you have to let it out first, and then you're fine afterwards.
But trial and error with me, I was in a position in management, and it bit me in the butt because there were times where I wasn't a good manager, and I let my emotions get the best of me, and I took it out on my employees, and then they retaliated, and I'm like, what the f? But then my upper management sat me down. They're like, Alana, like, you just gotta bite the bullet, and if you're gonna be in a leadership role, like, be the person that you're trying to look up to. Okay. And they put it in that way, and I was like, I guess so. I did sign up for this. But yeah, back to Justin. I really admire how, because after, like, behind closed doors, he trusts certain individuals. He basically trusts a lot of us, but there are moments where we share some intimate conversations. Like, I'll talk about my personal life, he'll talk about his personal life. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going through that many things, and that's why I get very like defensive when people like attack him or like talk badly about him. I'm like, you don't even know.
Yeah.
But he does a very good, and it's not him being fake, because a lot of times people confuse that of him like hiding um the the BS. Let's just say it's nobody else's business to know his BS.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I have to learn that. I am learning that, and I'm trying to apply it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what you said was very relatable because like sometimes like especially and Justin and other respected leaders like for me with Justin like whenever I would be like if I'm ever down in the dumps or if something's not if I don't have my mojo going right he'll notice it and then he'll
keen on
yeah so he'll call me and he'll be like, hey Kellen, how you been doing? I'm like half asleep, yeah. I just like woke up or something. Oh yeah, I'm okay, Just. Yeah, what's up, man? And he's like, no, just checking in on you. That's it. Just checking in on you. That's a lot of people. If you think about it, a lot of bosses don't do
Oh
that.
yeah.
Check in on you. You know what I mean? So when he did that, I'm like, oh, thanks, Just. I feel a lot better. Right, man. See you tomorrow. 6:30 a.m. And then tear coming out. 6:30 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. The setting the example. Yeah. Any other
Could you repeat the question, Tom?
Yeah, the question was, can you explain a time where a leader's emotion or attitudes affected a team positively or negatively? So again, emotion, attitudes of a leader, how did it affect um, the team positively or negatively? Or it could just, be you,
Like
your,
an
your
individual.
it could be your personal
I
experience.
think
too.
like when I first started getting into like martial arts and like I met Justin, and then when we did MMA, he was part of the reason I'd say like installing the belief of stepping in the cage, stepping on the mat.
Mm.
I think as a leader, I think having the ability to put belief in people is really really like important because sometimes we as people we doubt ourselves. Like you guys know me before I was fighting, I was like, oh, I'm scared. I want to pull out, or even like Nagas, like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to compete no more. Like just stuff like that. Like leaders have the ability to like install belief in people, and like having that as an example is like really helpful. I think, especially for me, like having a lot of mental conflict. I think.
That can go both ways.
Yeah.
Because you can have a really good leader that'll instill positivity in you and be like, you got this, and then you'll have managers who be like, what the f are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't even do it right. I'm like, I'm trying.
Yeah. That's true.
there's
So
also
I can go both ways.
there's also in the competition aspect. There's also the fear factor, right? It's
Yeah.
like, you better get them. Don't you dare tap.
Pressure.
Don't you dare tap.
Pressure.
Oh, wait. You know, not that I've experienced it, but like thinking about different scenarios.
That one comes to my mind. I think first is having a good leader install belief in you. That's a
Mhm.
really good example. I think.
Right.
But I think just the fact too that like he's doing hard things himself too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like in that sense, like he's definitely setting the example of, doing things that are not necessarily going against the grain, but like rocking the boat a little bit, but for in a positive light for our team, but other people aren't necessarily taking it that way, and trying to like bring him down. But he, being who he is and having such a strong like belief in what we do and where we can go, that he's going through all of these like trials and tribulations and hard training as an example for us.
He's literally an anime character.
He is,
He
yeah.
is MC in his own anime. What should we call his anime?
He likes
We should call him. We should have an anime for
an
him.
anime. Oh yeah.
What is MC?
Main character.
Oh.
Jojo,
I'm not good at acronyms.
we
either.
are gonna influence you on watching anime. He doesn't watch anime, guys.
Yeah.
What did Bryce call me the other?
Oh, I thought you were
Uncultured.
saying, what was anime?
Uncultured
I
swine.
was going to say, what was anime?
Coco called you uncultured.
You weren't there.
You
I remember-
uncultured swine.
Remember when I brought my friends to try jiu-jitsu? So I brought them the next week. I don't think you came.
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking about Britney Spears or one of the
Britney
singers.
Spears was playing.
And then they were
She
asking me
seemed
like,
toxic.
Oh, yeah.
they were like, Jojo, who's this singing? I was like, and
Missy
I don't even know. I
You
say
said Missy
because
Elliott.
like.
He said,
I
don't
said-
say Taylor Swift. Oh, he's
Don't
like
say
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
And then Bryson was like, he's one of my friends. He's like, Jojo, you uncultured swine. And then everybody started
Because I was
laughing.
like, I was trying to say it's.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, that's a quack.
That's a quack. That's a quack, yeah.
But I blanked. You know how she says it's Britney.
Yeah.
Beep.
You should just voice over that, record that. And that's
Oh,
gonna be,
I should do that.
yeah, that's gonna be
I like the
voiceover.
quacks though. The quacks are funny.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, segueing.
No, that was an awesome segue, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, I guess, finishing off. I mean, we can add in more stuff too, but I think what I wanted to add in was, we talked about, how leaders positively impact us. Like per se, we're talking about Justin, how he's working hard, setting the example, how we want to do the same. There's also there's the flip side too, right? Sometimes there's leaders that can act in a, I wouldn't word it negative, but they could be stressed or cause negativity. But there were situations where this is like long time ago, but basically there was a situation where I remember, I think I was asked something by my boss, and then I wasn't too sure. But it's interesting because, like, when I'm talking about this, extreme ownership applies. So it's hard to like, you know what I mean? It's hard to be like harsh. You know what I mean? But I'll explain it in the best terms. But basically, however I took it at that time, I took it as when they were asking me something, they're like, Kellen. Mumble, 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 mumble. Like it was like so. When you talk, it's like all together.
I didn't even know
So-
what you said when I seen your mouth moving.
Yeah, so that's what happened on numerous occasions. So whenever that boss or leader that I was dealing with at the time, they would ask me something. So let's say that the task was, can you please pick up those bags? Okay, let's say, can you please pick up those bags, Kellen? The translation, when what I would hear from them would be, Kellen, can you pick up the bags right now? Look. I'll be like, look what? Look at what? And then I'll look, there's nothing. and then the job and then ultimately the job gets done.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. And I'm like, wait, who's
Just from
watching?
the action.
Yeah. And then they were like, who's watching? They're like, you're watching. I'm like, who's watching? And I was like looking around, yeah. But I think in those situations though, it's good to ask questions, making sure that if the leader asks you something, you gotta reassurance. Yeah, so from your part, if that happens, make sure you know what you're doing. You want to ask and make sure that
That was triggering.
yeah.
That was triggering. 'Cause
Right?
That's like customer service in the tourism,
Yeah, so
hospitality and tourism.
oh my goodness.
Well,
But
Justin talks about like vibrations. You know how you can like
He
feel
does.
people's like
Frequency.
vibrations. You know, and like people are like angry or they're sad or they're envious. Like it's such a low vibration, so that when you like talk to them, your vibrations start to come down too because it's almost like you're like matching. Right? Because I feel like we just tend to like reflect people's emotions
oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
vibrations.
Yeah.
And like whenever we talk to Justin, he's always a good example of like the high vibrations. 'Cause sometimes he talks faster, but you can feel like his like energy, even like through the phone. You can feel his like energy and his vibrations just like going. So
Yeah.
it makes you more like.
Well, for sure, yeah. I think that's the part of us that makes us human, right? Is we respond to that, I guess, vibration, emotion, right? Because it'd be kind of weird if someone was like, like someone was pissed, right? Like they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
can you believe that? And you're like, yeah, that's like that would make them even more.
I think if someone was trying to instigate
Yeah.
me, then yeah, but I would want to punch someone in the face if they did that to me. I'm like, I'm trying to be pissed.
Yeah,
Like,
I
are you
know.
joking?
Yeah,
Or-
and I think that's kind of a, I don't know if it's social cue is the right word, but I guess like
lack
it's,
of.
yeah, lack of social.
Or it could be like very keen on social cues.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like I want to piss them off even more.
Yeah.
That's what Jocko talks about, the reflect and diminish.
Yes.
Right? So
Yeah.
when they're like super pissed about something, yeah, you reflect, but then having that like awareness and then bring it back down, diminish the anger.
Yeah. Sometimes diminishing is hard
Yeah.
because
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to reflect on number one is yourself, right? And then, but then sometimes you go way too in, and then you're like, oh man, is it too late to
And
diminish?
then you get like sucked into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
drama.
Or you can be so laid back and you'd be like, do you even care about my situation? I'm like, I am trying to not get pissed at you right now.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah, like I said, how can I say anything? What do you want me to say? It's like, oh my goodness.
You don't want to make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's all right. Good first question.
Yeah.
That was minutes,
I don't know.
something around there. But yeah, great job. So we're halfway through the first chapter.
Ooh.
Okay, or the second to last chapter. But yeah, okay. So Alana, I'm gonna have you read this part from what trips
To win.
all the way to the end. From
Oh,
here
so
to-
long. Okay. What trips many leaders up is failing to understand how perceptive their subordinates are. Subordinates notice everything. They watch, they take notes, they discuss the leader's behavior among themselves. Ooh, guilty. At my old job. Where was I? I know this because I was a subordinate, yes. I was the youngest and the most junior guy in my first 2 SEAL platoons. We were always watching our bosses. Because your subordinates are watching so closely, it also means they will notice if you cover things up. If you make a mistake, don't try to cover it up. Admit it, own it, explain what you will do to prevent it from happening again. Don't lie to them. They will see right through it. Yep. As a leader, you must remember you are being watched, and in everything you do, you must set the example.
Yeah. So basically, Jocko kind of talks about how, in the end, I mean, with the majority of the book, right, extreme ownership, just taking full responsibility of your actions. But I mean, at the same time, I know, I just thought of this as a my thought process. But as when Jocko talks about being a leader, like sometimes when I first read the book, I thought about like, okay, being a leader. I'm thinking like, oh, you have to be a manager, you have to be a director, you have to be a team captain. I always think of it as a position, like, but what he truly means by leader is, I think it's just that mindset of having leadership. It applies to any situation. So for those of you that hear leader, not necessarily you're not a manager or a director or anything. It's the mindset of having that leadership mindset. Yeah.
Taking initiative.
Yeah, yeah. So very applicable to any situation. You don't have to be, because I think I explained this to my friend, and he's like, "Well, you have to be a manager, yeah." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. You have to be. I don't. No, no, no. You don't have to be a manager." But going into my second question, just kind of wrapping up the chapter. What are some differences between a leader who sets the example and the leader that doesn't?
The
It
what?
could. So again, the question is, what are some
No,
differences?
the last part.
Hmm?
The last part.
Oh, the last part, and the leader that doesn't. So yeah. So what are some differences between a leader who sets the example and a leader who doesn't? Yeah. So it could be you can create a your responses could be it could be a fictional situation or an actual situation or something that you've seen. Um, for me, I would say the difference is if a leader is kind of like if the leader gives advice or like if they especially tell the subordinate that you have to keep doing this task in order to do this, you have to maintain, you have to keep doing this. If the leader themselves are caught like I guess not doing what they're told the subordinate to do, that's like the subordinate remembers that. Remember
It's
that.
like for selfish reasons.
Yeah, so I think as a leader, if you're giving advice or some kind of
Delegation.
delegation, it's important that you practice it yourself. So it's good to be mindful and I would say mindful. When you're saying it, you make sure it's a core belief. Preach what you say.
teach.
Yeah. But honestly, it's sometimes it's hard. We are human. We do sometimes go downhill. Sometimes the things and advice that we give doesn't necessarily correlate with all times of our lives. Right? We have moments when we are down and not doing things. Should I work out? Snooze button. Okay. Let me just press it 5 times.
That's me.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of the difference I would say with
That too. It's like also setting the expectations, but also, example, like let's say turning the class, like when we have group classes,
Right.
right? If there's like 4 of us here, ideally, right, all of us would be turning the class, right? But if like let's say Alana is weighing in a challenger, if I'm in a consultation, like if you're talking to another member, and then there's 1 or 2 people left to turn the class, ideally, yeah, all of us would be there. But if we're doing other things, we're servicing other people, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to have those extra set of hands in case of situations.
Absolutely.
Where,
That's why tonight I like your SOPs, right?
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
I think along those lines is having good intentions for your team. So, not selfish reasons.
Yeah.
As a leader, you should not just think me, 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 I. It's we, us.
Good segue.
Perfect.
Perfect. Because what
Anna
Alana
said.
said.
I can read it, by the way.
Yeah, that was perfect because that's gonna go straight into our conclusion.
Oh.
It's all on you, but not about you. So I'm not making it personal. I'm not pointing to make it personal. Yeah. You now.
Use the
Okay.
phone.
You, the phone now. Alrighty, so we're gonna go into our last and final chapter of this book.
So just ready.
Oh my God.
So I can see.
Yeah.
We didn't even say your name. He's like, I got this.
All right, Jojo.
Leader.
So since it's the last chapter, you have the great privilege to read all of it.
Oh, I
Closing
can't.
out the book.
I can't read. No. Conclusion: it's all on you, but not about you. When you're a leader, there are no excuses. There's no one else to blame. You have to make decisions. You have to build relationships. You have to communicate so that everyone can understand. You have to control your ego and your emotions. You have to be able to detach. You need to install pride in the team. You need to train the team. You need to be balanced and tactful and aware, and you have to take ownership. The list goes on and makes up this incredibly complex undertaking that we call leadership. And if you do all those things well, if you lead effectively, the team will be successful and the mission will be accomplished. If you do not lead effectively, you will fail and the team will not accomplish the mission. Leadership is all on you. But at the same time, leadership is not about you, not at all. Leadership is about the team. The team is more important than you are. The moment you put your own interests above the team and above the mission is the moment you fail as a leader. When you think you can get away with it, when you think the team won't notice your self-serving maneuvers, you are wrong. The people will see it and they will know it. The leadership strategies and tactics in this book are to be used not so you can be successful. These strategies and tactics are to be used so that the team can be successful. If you use them to further your own career or your own agenda, eventually these strategies and tactics will backfire and bring you down. You will fail as a leader and as a person. But if you use these strategies and tactics with the goal of helping others and helping the team accomplish its mission, then the team will succeed. And if the team succeeds, you win as a leader and as a person. But infinitely more important, your people win, and that is true leadership. Wow.
I'll clap.
Look at that. We finally reached the index.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's basically like, I mean, not basically, but when you were reading that, it made me think again of what Alana was saying about like intention. You know, like the difference between someone that is like a manipulator and someone who is an actual like leader is the intention behind it, right? There's people, and we've encountered people that were doing and saying things and spreading rumors or gossiping for the benefit of themselves and to, you know, make, for example, Justin look bad, right? Which what he was doing was he was trying to be a leader to like influence, to help the other people and to help the team, to help the mission, to help the members. Whereas other people, it's not just one particular person, but other people were saying whatever, and whether it was true, actually no, a lot of it wasn't true, actually, but they were just like spewing stuff. I was almost needed to make a quack in there, but they were just saying stuff to kind of get other people on their side.
Oh.
That makes sense, because it's still influence, right? Manipulation is still influence,
Yes.
and manipulation and leadership, I feel like get mixed up a lot. But it's the intention behind it.
Yeah.
Like difference between homicide and manslaughter. The
That
intention.
took a turn.
The intention.
Yeah.
Homicide, you have intention.
Yes. Yeah.
Manslaughter is an accident.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, kind of.
You can cut that part out.
We're leaving everything.
Leave it.
It's a
That's
genuine.
Halloween.
Yeah, oh yeah, Halloween is. Oh no, that's a terrible segue. Oh yeah, no, but for sure, I almost lost my train of thought. Yeah, that's why I think. Oh no, you're
Wait,
good.
did you answer a question?
No, not yet.
Oh.
No,
When I was reading, I was like, yeah. So Alana's talking about intention and like it's all about you, or it's on you, but not about you.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, you know, all of the stuff that we take in and whatever, but then our intention behind it is it's not about what we think and feel per se. It's how can we further the mission and serve our people.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. Like for me hosting it, it's like it's awesome if you guys just if you have a thought and it's burning, you can just say it. You know, and after that, I won't be like, "Oh, my question." You know, I won't be like, "My question."
But deep down
was
inside, it's like, but my question.
deep on the inside, yeah, my unconscious side. Oh, my question though. No, but yeah, it was interesting because Alana, when you were right before we started this ending, like when you were talking about this, you know, sometimes leaders, you know, they do say things for selfish reasons or you know it's for their own benefit. I'm like, this is the perfect segue. This is perfect. And then now we're here, but kind of going into it. So I guess not I guess, but again, the intention is really important for behind a leader, right? You know, whenever they ask something to be done or something for a mission to be accomplished. It's the thought about the team, yeah.
Mm.
So he really stresses the importance of the team rather than the actual leader themselves. Like, of course, the leader is important to dictate what happens and stuff like that, but the team is the utmost most important thing, more than the leader. So, why do you think Jocko stresses the importance of the team? Why does he put that on the top of the list?
You can't do stuff on your own.
Yeah.
You need
You can only go so far, right, by yourself.
you need people, whether you think you need them or not. Like, one, if you just did everything on your own and you're like a hermit, you can't engage. Like, not having an engagement with like a team, you can't excel. You put a cap to yourself.
Lid,
The lid.
The
The
lid.
lid. Wait, do you even know what that reference is?
Yeah, love the lid.
Wait.
Wait, wait, wait,
What was the reference?
What
Lid.
reference?
I know
That one? That reference? The lid?
the lid.
No, I don't know that
Wait,
reference.
what was your first reference? What did you say?
Love, when she said the lid, I was
Yeah.
like, love the lid.
I know, yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, Law of the Lid, John Maxwell, right? 21, the irrefutable laws of leadership. But I also
I don't
What is
know.
that?
I don't know that one.
Wait, I don't even know what that.
I don't even know what that one is. The lid. I don't know.
No, I know it's SpongeBob.
Oh,
What
okay.
What was the first one? John Maxwell, something.
Oh, it's a book.
It's a book.
It's called 21
Yeah.
Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
essentially, sorry. Jojo, you can explain the chapter because you had.
Law of the lid. It
Yeah.
talks about like leadership, and you only have a lid that reaches your potential as a leader and as a person. I think kind of like that. I don't know how to explain it deeper.
But I mean, kind of like if the leader is the lid of the team.
Yeah.
The leader is the lid of the mission.
Oh.
And that if we
You don't
put
expand
self-limiting
it.
like beliefs, we're capping ourselves. We're capping our team. We're capping how confident people we can help.
Mhm.
So kind
I
of changing your like mindset so that we can move the lid or
Gotcha. Wow.
lid.
Yeah.
That went
The
from
lid.
The lid.
that went from SpongeBob to
John Maxwell.
John Maxwell. Look at that. That should be a game. We should connect topics. What does this remind you of?
SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob. What's after that? John Maxwell.
I think it's just that generation.
Oh man.
I'm pretty sure everyone else that's gonna watch
Yeah.
this is gonna know the lid.
The lid.
When
Yeah.
I think of SpongeBob, I think of the guy that yells chocolate.
Oh yeah, that's a chocolate.
Chocolate.
Oh yeah. Some of the things in SpongeBob was just as an adult you
It
look
was
back-
great.
Yeah, when you look back at it as an adult, you're like, wow.
It's so
that-
great.
that's what it meant. Like, you don't know it until like you're like, oh, that's why they did that. But yeah, sorry, that was
Great segue.
great segue. Yeah, we're ending off with SpongeBob. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean,
Well, and like also, if you have a team, like less stress. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, you're not gonna put all the weight on your team, but you can divide and conquer.
Yeah.
You know.
because I feel like sometimes if a leader gets stressed or like, especially how there's initiative involved, but sometimes there's too much initiative, right? There has to be a dichotomy, a balance. Like sometimes a leader might, they might not even ask someone. They might believe that they're not going to do it, so might as well I do it, right? So they'll end up putting the work on themselves, and they'll just kind of. I mean, it will get it done, maybe short term, right? Not saying that it won't get done; it will be done short term, but the leader's just gonna get burnt out.
Yeah.
Towards the end of it.
Guilty. 100% guilty.
It's okay, Alan. We're gonna try to help you.
I'm guilty. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Al. No, not just you, but like I've seen it in like my other workplaces too. Like the one that the mumbling one. She's like, oh, never mind, I got it. I'm like, oh, my neck cracked. Oh god. But yeah, sorry, my neck cracked when I did that. But yeah, you're not the only one that's guilty. I'm pretty sure I think maybe not in the business sense, but like I think like and my best friend and I think we were trying to make like this like Japanese robot, a Gundam. You know what a Gundam is?
Ooh,
Gundam.
yeah.
So we were trying to make that,
Those
but
are
then
hard to put together.
those are super hard, yeah. And then I think because I had experience in making it, and then I think he broke something, And once one thing breaks, it's over.
And the decal
Oh.
part is just so hard.
Yeah.
It's so tedious.
So then I was just like, yeah, no, let me just do it. Let me do it. I got it. Yeah.
You know what a Gundam is, right?
Like Lego, yeah.
Did you say it was a Lego?
It's like it's kind of.
I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to roast you, George.
I
I'm
will
not.
forever roast you.
Yeah, you talk about me about John Maxwell. I thought you guys were talking about like Bible verses or something.
No.
That's what I thought.
It is like Bible.
It is kind of like a Bible.
Kinda, right? Yeah.
For like
Leadership.
That's how I was.
Laws of Success
Yeah.
by Napoleon Hill, and his book definitely looks like a Bible.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's in
Yeah,
It's in the
I'm
back,
not.
yeah.
You know, not that
it's
I have
good.
anything against religion because I'm Catholic, but
Mhm.
when I have kids, I'm be like, this is the Bible, kid children. Okay, and this is
Law
the
of
law of success.
Law of success. The Bible.
This
The
is-
one with the golden edges. Read verse 1.
They talk about it to their other religious friends. I was like, "What book are you reading?" And they're like, "What book is
My
there?"
mama said.
Who's your god? Success.
Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill. He's like, "Who called my name?"
Sorry, segued.
No,
Anyways, back
no.
to the team part.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm like super grateful for you folks, and I know like Justin feels the same too. Just knowing that, and like we've kind of talked about this before, like knowing that, because we have things that we're trying to delegate or that we're like responsible of, but just knowing that you folks are gonna coach the classes and you're gonna service the members, and that you're truly like thinking about them and what they can do and push them further, and but also make sure that they're safe. Like knowing that you folks have that on lock is super helpful, because then I don't need to micromanage, right? Like knowing that Jojo, like you take initiative, you push the podcast out, like you're very mindful of the questions that you ask, and making sure that people are trying to be able to actually see our content, and especially being super helpful with like jujitsu and stuff too. Like knowing that you have that unlocked, I don't need to worry about it. Of course we touch bases, but I don't need to worry that like Jojo, like it's been like 3 weeks. Like where's the podcast? You're very on it. And same thing with like Alana, especially in these like most recent weeks. Like you've to me have just kind of like taken off in terms of like responsibility and like ownership and like taking initiative and all your like ideas, and it makes what I do so much easier. Not that I'm like not necessarily like trying to like coast, but like that's just like one thing that I don't need to like think about.
Takes the weight off.
I
Yeah,
think
it
we
takes
just
just like
know
out mental space.
You overthink.
I
But we
definitely
need an
overthink.
overthinker because then
Oh, for
sometimes we
everyone.
just don't think about certain things that like Alan thinks of, and we're like, oh yeah, okay, ring check.
Yeah, but just knowing that you folks have all those things, like it just makes my brain like not as jumbled. And then with Justin being away too, like it helps him to just focus on what he's doing there, knowing that we have our bumps in the road and stuff, but knowing that we'll figure it out helps him focus on whatever he's doing.
No, for sure. So when you said the overthinking part, we're like, man, I think we've all been there. The overthinking
Yeah.
part. My goodness. Yeah. I think when I was overthinking a lot one time, I was like, I was overthinking. I'm like, man, I'm struggling. I'm just thinking about so much things. What should I do? All the advice I got, don't think. I'm like, okay, don't think.
Don't think.
I wish I could do that. I wish it was just for my brain. I
Oh
wish
my
I could.
god, like
Ah.
Vampire Diaries. Turn off.
I don't know.
Turn it off.
Oh,
Vampire Diaries.
Yes, I watched that. I've watched that. Yeah.
was it good?
What is it called?
It's
They
good,
turn
right?
off their what?
Their humanity.
Their
Yeah.
humanity. Oh, that's when they feel nothing. Yeah.
And they're like straight evil.
My goodness.
Kill to kill.
Yeah.
Are you Damon or Salvatore? Or
Like team
no?
Damon or
Damon-
team Seven.
I was about to say Team Damon or Team Salvatore, but that's their last names.
Which one you like? The
It
first
was
or last
it
name?
was
I
Damon
like
and
Damon.
what's the brother's name? Stefan. All I remember was Caroline?
Caroline, the blonde one.
No, oh no, the girl of Stefan, or
Elena?
technically Elena. All I remember is she just keeps coming back alive. That's all I remember. She keeps dying, back alive, dying, back alive.
I did it. I did.
I remember that one. That's all I remember. But yeah, true leadership. True leadership. Reading.
Glad no one noticed I didn't watch it. I'm glad no one noticed.
Helen didn't say a
I can't say one thing. All I heard was alive, dead, Klaus. Last name, first name.
Klaus. Oh, Klaus. You know
I
Klaus.
love Klaus.
Oh,
Of course you do.
Klaus is,
He's like the best.
Oh.
Klaus is awesome.
He's positional leadership.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Sorry, I know this is.
He's one of
That's
the
okay.
OGs.
No,
But like when we like read these books and we like talk about it with each other, like your lens is just so different. Like the way that we view like movies and TV shows and like past relationships that we've had, or like
Yeah.
not like necessarily like boyfriend girlfriend kind of
But
relationships,
people.
but just people
Yeah,
in general.
yeah.
With, like your
Romantic
coworker,
or just
coworkers.
platonic.
You know what I just thought of? You know Bonnie, the witch?
Yeah.
I thought of like her as an
That too.
and she's back alive. And dead again. Back alive. but like I thought of her as the example of, you know, one of those people who tries to carry the weight of others because she kept trying to save
Oh yeah.
them, knowing she doesn't have to. Like I remember she used to like in the story, like she would like cast spells and do stuff to help save like Elena and like Damon and like and like Damon is like technic for like the beginning of like the series, he's like the bad guy. And then all of a sudden like Bonnie like starts to like feel for him, understand him, and like now she's like carrying his weight and casting spells to save him. You need to watch it.
Yeah, but then she ends up like dying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody nose, it puts too much stress on her. So
But I thought of that as like an example of one of the person that tried
You know, having that conversation, I feel like we could do like a podcast where leadership can be applied.
to
like different
these
Yeah.
shows.
Like
I
how
watch
what
so much stuff.
Yeah, it's every that would be an interesting podcast. So that was super interesting.
The
Well,
lid,
everybody
the
has
lid,
to
the lid.
watch
Like
it,
Black
so I'll make sure I watch.
Clover.
Oh, I haven't.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs, I just thought of that.
He's like
Oh man.
not a good
Oh,
leader.
dictator.
And
he's
Squidward.
very selfish.
Squidward.
Squidward. I don't know how Squidward gets paid. I really don't. Because like he doesn't give anything to SpongeBob.
Patrick is like the example of the guy who just doesn't think.
The lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do like leadership. Yeah, that'll be for next
And
time.
SpongeBob is the overachiever.
Yes.
Overachiever. Yeah.
I'm positive.
I like where this went.
Yeah. that could be an idea. Yeah, for sure. No, it's okay. No, that was awesome. That was great.
Time.
Yeah.
Is there another question?
See. Oh no.
Oh, we went through it all?
See you all tomorrow. See you all tomorrow. Sorry. I was about to read that. No, this is my. Well, so the questions are on my phone. I was about to read "See you all tomorrow" on the text, but that's
That's
not
a good
tomorrow.
question.
Honestly, that is the questions that we actually went through all of them.
Yay! We usually don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one. I was about to say podcast, but yeah, one of the book clubs we had. I think we were only on question 1, and I think that took up an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I remember.
that was an hour and 10 minutes, but it was a good combo. That's why, right? You know, so yeah.
It's a good problem.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else to add?
My question is, will you watch Vampire Diaries?
If I watch Vampire Diaries, you have to watch. Oh, you guys gotta watch.
Pick a good one.
Pick a good one. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. Pick a good one. Watch. I'll say. She's like, what? No. You gotta watch. I don't know if you guys even watched it. Have you guys watched Death Parade?
Oh my god!
Have you watched it?
The intro like does not even match the freaking.
Yes. You guys have to. It's
storyline.
super
Is that
psychological.
the one we were talking about yesterday in the
Yes.
podcast? Oh.
I'm watching a basketball one right now.
Oh, Kuroko.
Yeah, I'm rewatching.
There's a basketball anime?
Yeah.
There's a
Ooh,
couple.
you know what? Watch the basketball one.
Okay, I need to
You
get
have
Crunchyroll.
soccer. You don't have a track.
They even
one.
have swimming.
You have
I need
swimming.
to get
Yeah.
a Crunchyroll.
The swimming one. I mean,
Baseball.
super competitive. Yeah.
Volleyball one is really
Oh,
intense.
IQ.
No, yeah, I remember watching.
That's
that
how I
one.
learned a lot about
After-
volleyball.
Yeah, you learn a lot through haiku, like a libero,
Yeah.
setter, or
Yeah.
even what is it? Who's the guy in the back?
Liberos, libero,
A wing? Is it wing?
passers. There's
I
libero
have
passers.
no idea.
But
I know you
anyways,
spike the
hitters.
ball.
Yeah.
Chest ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not good at
Oh,
catching it like this. I was the only guy that would hit it.
But it's hard. The bumps.
Oh yeah.
It's hard because you have to even it out. The ball. If the ball's like here, oh my god.
Yeah.
I heard
You heard
that.
that?
I wonder if the microphone caught it.
I know. Yeah,
It
maybe
probably
it did. Yeah, you can play that 10 times. Nah, just kidding.
Basketball. Yeah.
I'm
I never
gonna
watched the
watch that.
basketball one though.
I'll watch that one.
That one's interesting. I know what it's about. Like what the main character does. It's
Even ice skating. But that one,
Oh,
that one is.
that's the best one.
I don't know if you're ready for that one.
Oh.
I think you guys are ready for the ice skating one.
Maybe Alan, but he's not ready for the ice
Yeah.
skating.
It's a good one. It talks about trial, struggles, you know, a lot of good things.
You're missing out a lot of things.
I feel like this is the best one.
I don't know. It sounds pretty interesting.
It's basically like,
It's just like Food
the
Wars,
title of
but-
your friend group chat. It's
Okay.
a joke.
Okay, that type of ice skating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, okay, wait. That's the type of ice skating.
So it sounds like an anime I probably wouldn't watch.
Oh, yeah.
What? Come on,
It sounds like
Alan.
an awesome anime to watch.
It's a
with my
very
friends.
awesome anime.
You should watch it. Oh my god, make them watch it.
They love anime.
What? They do?
Oh, they know.
DJ's like
Talk to-
AOT.
You
He watched
probably
like
watched it
AOT and like they watched I forgot Dragon Ball Z.
I guarantee they watch Cho.
How come you
They
don't
go.
watch it?
I don't know.
Spend
There's
your
a lot
time
of, like-
training. That's
Uh-huh.
why.
Did you know there's
is
a lot
fine.
of life lessons in there?
Sorta.
And it's motivating. And it
But-
pushes you.
But me, I'm very like blind to the life lessons when I'm watching like shows.
But then
It's
you're
like
you're
action.
like with the main character. You're at the MC.
You know,
True, that's true.
you know when Alana asked Jojo, like, "How come you don't watch anime? You look like you were going through your life decisions. you look like this. You're like, gosh,
honestly,
I don't know.
honestly, when she asked that, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. I don't even know. I'm asking myself too, like, yeah, why don't I watch anime?
I will convert JoJo.
Yeah,
It's a declaration.
you're
right
gonna
there.
see him with his My Hero shirt, Haikyuu shorts.
Be a character for Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, yeah, Halloween.
I have to dress as an anime character now for Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
you
said
do.
it. It's on.
Oh, it's on. Yeah, you can
I have
be
to.
the guy from the swimming one. Yeah.
The swimming one.
Yeah.
No, wait.
It's just swimming.
I'm not gonna agree to this just
Yeah.
yet.
The show's called Free.
Free.
Do you feel free?
Is it free?
With ads.
With ads. With ads, it's free. With ads, it's free, so you can watch free,
It's true.
but it's not free.
With
$10
the
a month.
price
I'm
of
so excited
ads.
for Halloween. We can dress up as our favorite.
We need to
We
have
can
a
cosplay.
Halloween-
I love cosplay.
I think Colton wants me to be Princess Peach.
we should
'Cause he
do
wants to be Mario.
Oh.
And Justin's gonna be
Yoshi.
Luigi.
Oh.
I think he wanted
I
him to
guess
be
so.
Luigi. But I was like, are you sure you want me to be Princess Daisy? He's like, no, Princess Peach. I'm like, damn. I don't like pink, that's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
Daisy.
She's
is,
more of a purple girl.
Daisy is.
I love Toad.
orange, yeah? Oh, Toad.
I love Toad.
Oh, you look at
You sure? He's my kind of guy.
there was an inside joke where every time my friend, whenever we play Mario Kart, for some reason the computer that would always win in Mario Kart is Peach, always Peach. So he has a grudge against.
I always
Yeah,
pick,
yeah.
I always pick Peach and Toad.
Oh yeah, my best friend too is Toad. Yeah.
Toad is the little guy,
He's a
yeah.
mushroom.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
The
if
guy that
you
helped
eat-
Mario.
yeah, if you eat him,
I
he
can
becomes-
relate to him.
Oh.
So I like
But I was Princess Peach one year.
When was that?
Not over here. When I was like maybe JoJo's age. Maybe a little bit younger.
Who would I be in Mario?
Who would you be in Mario?
Yoshi.
Waluigi. Which is small. Bad guy.
Luigi?
Waluigi.
Oh,
Waluigi's
Waluigi.
a bad guy.
The
like
the
Wario's
the
a
chunky
bad
guy?
No, that's Wario.
Oh,
No,
oh,
you said-
Waluigi is like the tall.
Oh.
It's like the opposite of Mario and Luigi.
Yeah.
oh.
You said Yoshi with such confidence. You're like Yoshi.
You know, you have to do
Just jacked, you know.
Or dress up as
I like
Bowser.
this. I like
Bowser.
Yoshi's
Oh,
song.
if you're Waluigi, I'll be Wario. That'll be pretty good. Yeah.
That would be-
There's a guess where your glasses? Oh no. Waluigi doesn't have glasses.
He has a lightning bolt. He has a lightning bolt
Who's
mustache.
gonna be Browser?
Bowser?
Did they say Browser? Bowser.
I said Bowser.
You also said
I said browser. like you like browser.
Bowser.
Did you watch the Mario movie?
No,
I like
not
how
yet.
this is
I
book
wanted
club and we're
to.
talking about. It's good. I liked it.
It was good.
Bowser is positional leadership.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it my way or the highway.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Because I said so.
that's Jack Black for you.
Mario.
Positional leadership.
Did
Mario is true leadership.
Mario.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's
That's
just
the
he
example. He goes
Yeah.
out and
saves the
completes-
princess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
His intentions are pure.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, if he's trying to get with the princess, I don't know if that's technically.
Oh, we're talking about the movie?
Well, I don't know.
I'm talking about the movie.
I don't know if it's pure.
Oh,
No, he's just trying to save her, and they're
the
gonna-
movie. He's impure.
I didn't see the movie.
Yeah, he's gonna save her, and they're gonna have a couple.
Maybe we should have movie night.
Yeah.
Watch it.
now.
We can watch it for
Scary movie,
Oh yeah.
and then we have a video.
Yeah.
I do not like scary movies. I will be there with you folks and watch the corner of the screen.
You know.
Or I
No.
will always make snacks so I don't need to
Me,
watch.
when I watch movies with the boys, I would like be in my chair and I'd be like this. I would like peek through a little hole.
I know. Yeah, I do that too. It's
I used to do this.
No,
I
would- I would cover my eyes and like leave a little gap.
you know what's more terrifying than a scary movie? The person that
Watching
doesn't-
it alone.
or that too, but the person that you're next to is just looking at it with no emotion.
Oh yeah.
Well, that one's
That's
scary.
Scary.
That is kind of scary because I one time I was doing this, my friend.
That is. What is the word? Admirable.
Is it admirable?
You know what's the worst? When like you're like super scared, getting ready to get scared, and they're like next to you, like, and then you're like,
Oh man, that reminds me of middle
That's
school
me.
days.
that's
That's
so-
you?
Yeah. No, not that I do it. I'm the one that gets so
Oh,
scared.
you're the one that gets it.
But yeah.
That's a big truck. Wow.
But yeah.
Right, pal.
So
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
So we went over the last two chapters. It went into Vampire Diaries,
Yep.
SpongeBob, John
John
Maxwell, Mario movie,
anime,
Peach, Toad, anime, Haikyuu, scene.
ice skating.
Oh, ice skating. That's the most
What
important
is it
one.
called? Something on ice.
Yuri on Ice.
Yeah.
I said that was
Oh, I watched-
Not that I watched it.
I watched Your Lie in April.
You watched Your Lie in April? You watched Your Lie?
I watched a little bit. I watched like up
What
to
the
like
hell? You said little.
I watched- I
Wait,
watched
wait.
up to like maybe like episode 9 of the first season when I think he's in a competition for the piano competition or something like that.
Yes.
The first time when he meets her
I think so.
and she goes rogue.
I think so. Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, you gotta finish. Don't be like my dad. He watches like episode 6 of any anime. Like he'll like pick one. I don't know why he does that. No, I know.
His favorite number is 6.
I don't know. He just like whatever looks good. Episode 3. I'll be
Oh,
like,
the picture of it, the thumbnail.
yeah. I told my dad like that's so sinful, Dad. You don't pick from the
There's
middle.
new anime coming out.
Is it the mystery one?
I forgot what it's called. Something blood, but it's a rom-com / gory one where the guy kind of died and the girl always has bad luck, so he like tries to die.
Oh,
but
Undead
then-
Unluck.
Yeah.
I read the book. Very good.
Oh, I don't know.
Very good.
That reminded me of the I'm dead, I'm alive again.
Pretty much. He cannot die, that's why. Yeah.
Just like Elena in Vampire
Afterwards.
Diaries.
Not in the first few seasons.
Oh man.
But yeah, that was a good book club.
Good book club, you guys.
Next book I think was John Maxwell.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Five Levels of Leadership. A different John Maxwell.
5 levels of leadership.
I think that was.
I have to go
I
get
think
the
there's
book.
quizzes in there, yeah?
I
think
gotta look
so.
at it again.
The blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I learned so much from this chapter. Let me answer the questions all wrong. All wrong. You're like, dang. I'm sorry, John. I tried. Oh man. Okay.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much,
Thank
you guys.
you.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. I don't
Thanks,
think they would ever-
Vampire Diaries.
Thanks.
Thank you, SpongeBob.
Thanks, SpongeBob.
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
We didn't even talk about Jack. Oh yeah, we did.
Bowser. Yeah, sorry. I was
Thank
gonna
you,
wrap it
Mario.
up, but he is Jack Black. Yeah. Peach. Oh yeah, the Peach song.
Oh, peaches, peaches. Okay, let's end it at there.
That was like some good ASMR.
The end, and it has like the credits, the Peaches song.
God. All right.
Ciao.
Done. Thank you.
Watch it be